It was supposed to end with a handshake. Instead, it ended with a storm. A single net cord shot lit the fuse. But what happened at the net between Taylor Townsend and Jelena Ostapenko has become one of the most talked about moments of the US Open. Words like no class, no education, and learn to take a loss weren't just thrown around. They exposed the tension, pride, and pressure boiling beneath the surface of professional tennis. And while the match itself was a shock, the real story was only just beginning. The match was over. Townsend had just pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the US Open, and the crowd was buzzing with energy. But as the players walked toward each other at the net, the atmosphere shifted. Instead of the usual handshake and quick exchange, something far more explosive was about to unfold. Ostapenko didn't come forward with congratulations. She came forward with accusations. Leaning in during the handshake, she confronted Townsend about a point that had bounced off the net cord earlier in the match. In tennis, it's common etiquette to raise a hand or offer a quick apology when a ball schemes the net and still counts as a winner. Townsend hadn't done that, and to Ostapenko, it was a sign of disrespect. What should have been a moment of sportsmanship turned tense. Ostapenko's frustration spilled out as she muttered sharp words, calling Townsend classless, and even suggesting she had no education. The comment stunned those nearby, not only for its harshness, but for its tone. The handshake had turned into a verbal jab, and the crowd knew instantly this wasn't going to end quietly. Townsend, however, wasn't rattled. She stared right back and delivered a cutting reply. You can learn how to take a loss better. It wasn't loud, it wasn't drawn out, but it landed with the force of a knockout punch. The exchange lasted only seconds, but it was enough to shift the headlines from the scoreline to the drama. As Ostapenko walked away, still visibly seething, fans began replaying the scene on their phones, sharing clips online within minutes. Commentators quickly picked up on the story. Townsend had delivered a career-defining upset, but it was the fiery handshake that would dominate the conversation. What started as a net cord had snowballed into a clash about respect, pride, and what it really means to lose on one of the biggest stages in tennis. And for both players, the battle wasn't finished. It had only just begun. When the scoreboards shut off and the headlines fade, this clash will be remembered for more than an upset. It was about respect, about identity, about the way two very different journeys collided in front of the world. Taylor Townsend proved she belongs at the highest level, while Jelena Ostapenko reminded everyone why her name is always tied to drama. The only question now is, when they meet again, will we be talking about tennis, or about the fire that follows them wherever they go?